Our CES 2018 coverage is proudly powered by Amazon. Help support our content by going to PLUGHITZLive.com/Amazon. Hey guys, Scott here with PLUGHITZ Live, part of the Tech Podcast Network. We are here at the Sands in Eureka Park at CES 2018, and we've got a little fishing thing here, which we'll find out about in a second, but if you could introduce yourself for me.
Yeah, hi. Brandon Austin, co-founder and CEO of GoFish Cam.
GoFish Cam. So obviously it's going to be some sort of a fish camera. Yep. What does that mean? This camera is one of the most versatile fishing cameras that's out there, meaning it goes where your fishing goes versus you fishing where the camera is. So you attach it in line, right onto your line going to your rod, and then the line going to your leader or bait connects to the front, and you're able to see exactly what's happening underwater while you're fishing, bottom fishing, trolling, cast and retrieve, or even float fishing with the free accessory that comes with it. So by itself, it goes near your bait or lure.
Yep.
So it's right at the leader, so it's real close to the action.
Yep.
So I would imagine, like during a catch, the video must be insane.
It's definitely insane footage. Well, it's interesting because the majority of the fishing experience happens underwater. Right. And yet you're only sharing a picture of your catch at the end. It's like, what happened to the whole thrill of it, right? So now you're able to share that. You're able to share the strike, the fight, everything. And it is some pretty insane footage.
I would imagine some of the fishing shows, when they bring them up, that just what you see at the surface is interesting. Yeah. I can't imagine what happened underwater.
Yeah, in a couple cases, we've actually had some pretty aggressive northern pike go, they'll come check out the lure, they'll try the lure, it won't get hooked, and then they'll come test out the camera. And so we've had a couple customers share videos where the camera gets swallowed by a fish and then spat back out and swims away. So we've seen some really, really cool footage from our customers.
That's like losing a GoPro while skydiving, kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely crazy stuff. And with the camera, I mean, you attach it to a heavy line, so you might lose lures like you constantly do, but the odds of losing the camera is very slim. We've shipped over 2,500 and only 4 people have ever lost one. Like I said, fish have ate the camera and still don't lose the camera, so.
That's pretty good. Now, Obviously, you said the camera in that scenario is designed for recording what happened. Yeah. But I think you said that the green accessory here allows you to see what's happening.
Yeah, so what's really cool about the accessory, and this comes free with every camera, is that it slides onto your camera and it acts like a bobber. So it turns your camera into the bobber. Now you're able to live stream to your phone a top-down view of what's happening. So you can see how fish are acting in the bait or lure. You can toss it out and scout out the areas, the structure, everything. So it's a really awesome addition to the product.
So when it's live streaming, is it also recordable then?
So you can record it or just watch it live stream. And on the app, you have the option to control the camera. So when you're looking at the live view, you can then hit record when you see some stuff you want to capture.
That's pretty cool. And you said you've shipped how many of them, give or take?
So we've shipped about 2,500 units to date. And that's to 65 countries already. But we're mostly in the US now.
Fair enough. And where did the idea come from? Why did you decide that this was the thing you were going to do?
I hate that question because I started a company with my older brother, and I guess it was his idea, but we grew up fishing our whole lives. We grew up in Ontario, Canada, lots of freshwater fishing. Our mom's from Costa Rica, so we grew up a lot of saltwater fishing. And he was on a trip in Trinidad because he was there for a wedding. And so they're on the back of a boat, and there was these local guys fishing off the back of the boat, and one of the guys caught a massive fish on the line, and he was battling it, and then they were, the fish got off. So everyone was freaking out, like, what kind of fish was it? How big was it? What do we do? Should we go back? And all these unanswered questions just led to a light bulb, and then that's what gave the birth to this company.
It sounds like a pretty reasonable experience to go.
Those happen, I assume.
We actually have a saying in our group that great ideas come from things that suck. Yeah. And there you go.
Well, yeah, like I said at the beginning of this, the majority of fishing happens underwater. It sucks that you weren't able to know what that was before. Now you can, so.
So obviously you've shipped a bunch of these,
Yeah.
which means they must be available in one way or another.
They are available. You can go to our website, gofishcam.com. You can find them there. And this year we're starting to scale up our distribution, so hopefully you'll be able to find us in a store near you soon and on Amazon as well.
Very cool. And what do they run?
We retail them for $239. Yeah.
And based on the story, I'm going to assume that they're good fresh and salt water.
Yeah, we've actually had a camera still sitting in the salt bath for about 9 months now. We've put a bunch of different saltwater lures. Every saltwater lure we've tossed in there is salted and rusted over. The camera has no rust to it, no corrosion to it, so it's lasting and holding up in saltwater really well.
That's obviously the important thing when you're spending money on something like that.
Especially something for offshore. In a camera like this where it's going 150 meters underwater, almost 500 feet deep, you want it to be able to hold up to what it's built to.
Sure, and the depth pressure and stuff like that, none of that's been a problem?
No, in fact, every camera before we ship it to a customer goes into a depth chamber in water to 150 meters. So we pressurize test every seal to make sure that the camera's not going to leak when you use it.
Well, that's great. I always like to hear when companies actually do stress tests on the product before it ships.
The thing we didn't want was anyone getting these cameras and the quality not being there. So we put in a really rigorous QA process.
That's good. That starts to eliminate the whole everything that's mass produced has a failure rate thing.
Exactly, right? And as long as you're putting good customer care and good quality in the product, then we're hoping that we'll have a successful brand and business.
Sounds like you've got the stuff in place to make that happen. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
For continuing CES 2018 coverage, stay tuned to PLUGHITZlive.com/CES.